Hello, let's continue our Sudoku adventure with Top Right Boy by PjoeterBliep. Welcome, PjoeterBliep. They are also a new setter for the Sudoku Adventure series, so welcome, welcome. This is their debut puzzle. Hope you enjoy it. Let's go over the rules. So we have normal 6x6 Sudoku rules. So in each row, each column, and each 2x3 box, we are placing the digits 1 to 6 exactly once each. We also have arrows in the grid. Let's do this one as an example. So they're always connected to a circle, and the digits on the arrow sum to the value in the circle. So there's no additional non-repeat rules on these beyond normal Sudoku. We always specify that for sums because it's pretty much every constraint except killer allows repeats as normal, but people are mostly used to killer. So anyway, let's say this was 1, 2, 1. These would add to 3. This would be another 1. That's okay. We repeated the 1. 3 plus 1 is 4, so we put a 4 in there. If this was a 2, we put a 5 in there. Right? If this was a 3, we put a 6 in there. Cool. So those sum to that. And then we also have little killers. Again, little killers, even though killer's in the name, you still can repeat as normal. They just point down diagonal from the edge where they are. That arrow, notice, is pointing diagonally. So from that cell all the way down until you hit the other edge. All of those cells, you sum them up, they're going to sum to the digit here, 15 in this case. So all of these would sum to 15. So I could do, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 15. That's not the only way to do, though. You're all allowed to repeat digits. So I could do like that. This should still add to 15. All right. Cool. And that's it. Those are the rules. There's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself. And I'm going to get started right now. All right. This one is the most interesting to me. I don't think there's any that are like particularly restricted here. So let's just immediately look at this diagonal here. So this whole thing adds to 15. Now there's already one deduction I can make immediately, which is a really nice deduction you can make with arrows that overlap with other sums, which is this entire arrow and its circle are all part of this 15 sum. Now, these sum to the same thing as the circle. And whenever you do the same number plus itself, you're doubling it. By definition, by doubling it, you're making it divisible by 2. So it will be an even number. So whatever these add up to, it will be an even number. And this cell then, on its own, is responsible for getting us to an odd number. So an even plus an even is still even. So we have to do even plus odd. So this is definitely a 1, 3, or 5. And that gives us the 3 possible sums that this doubled up sum can be. If this was a 1, then it's 14, which would mean this had to be a 7. That's not possible. If it was a 3, then these all add to 12, making this a 6. And if this was a 5, then these all add to 10, making this a 5. So we can pencil this and this, which is nice. And then as long as we remember the relationship between these, 3 makes 6, 5. Oh, wait, 5 and 5 doesn't work because it's the same box, right? So if this was a 5, these would have to sum to 10, making this also a 5, and that would be 2 5s in the box. So our only option here is 3, 6. Very nice. And now we just make this add to 6, and the 15 will be, and we get a 3 in the corner right away, which is fun. But the 15 will be resolved as long as we just get this arrow to work. We don't have to worry about more about that. This one is just, hey, these are some of the cells in our 15. So they add to less than 15, which is, I already knew that. Let's see, what's this do? Well, this can't be 3 anymore. So actually, so 1 plus 2 is the minimum, which is 3. But this can't be 3 because it sees a 3. So this is 4, 5, 6. This, 1, 2, and 1 is the minimum. That adds to 4. So this is also 4, 5, 6. So I'm wondering about 1 and 2 in the column, basically. But I guess we don't really know much about that. So, okay, what's the maximum this can be, though? Because 1, 2 is the minimum here. That's already 3. So this can't exceed 3. Or like if this was a 4, then we would be doing 3 plus 4, which is 7. Right, that would be our minimum. So the maximum of this can be is 3, but it can't be a 3. So it's definitely a 1 or a 2. But I don't know more than that. This guy could be a 2. We could do 1 plus 1 is 2. Actually, that wouldn't work. This can't be a 2 because if I do 1 plus 1 is 2, this can't have any value at all. So this is at least 3, but it's not 3. So this is 4 or 5, and it's not 6. Interesting. We know this isn't 5 then. Because if this was a 5, then what would this add to, right? So if none of these are 5, then 5's in one of these two, and 5's over here. Maybe we should think about this 15. Yeah, okay. So we have a similar logic as what we did here. Could have done this earlier. This is going to be even, right? See, in fact, it's going to be 8 or 10. And so this is going to add to an odd number, meaning that there are some being an odd number makes this an odd number. It's certainly not going to be 3. Or sorry, yeah, it's not going to be 1, sorry. But it could be 3 or 5. Now, that means these add to 3 or 5. Now, does that mesh well with our 4 or 5 here? So if these added to 8, with this being 4, these would add to 8. Getting from 8 to 15 is 7. So that's not going to work. So we need this to be a 5, and I'm guessing that makes that a 5 as well. So that's 10. So these need to add to 5, so that's a 5. Perfect. So this can't be a 5 anymore. Narrowing that down. This is just 1, 2, 4. This could be 4 if that's 1. These be adding to an odd number means they are different digits. We're still 1, 4, or 2, 3. Same thing here. 1, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1. Huh. They could add to 5 in the same way as each other, as far as I can tell. 4 is one of these two. 5 in this box is one of these two. We're certainly not putting a 5 here. The minimum will be 7. 1 plus 1 and 5. So the 5 ends up here. So this isn't a 5. 4 or 6. If it was 4, we'd be 1, 3. 6 is either 1, 5. Well, that can't put a 5 on it. So 6 wouldn't be 1, 5. So it would be 2, 4. So one thing we learned is there's always a 4 on here. But so 4 would be 1, 3. And the only way to do that is 1, 3 like that. 6 could not be 1, 5 because it can't put 5 on it. So 6 would be 2, 4 in any order. And there's always a 4 on here because either that adds to 4 or the 6 uses a 4. Maybe I should think about this 15 more. Oh, it's really just making these add to 6. This 15 maybe. So these are going to add to 4 or 6. Let's think about what that means for this. If these add to 4, then these need to add to 11. That would be a 5, 6 pair. That's the only way to do that. If these add to 6, then these need to add to 9, which would be a 3, 6 or a 4, 5. So these can't be 1 or 2, I guess is the conclusion. I want getting these to add to 6. So this is 1, 2 minimum. That's 3 already. So these can't add to more than 3. So they're also from 1, 2. Now this could be 1 plus 1 is 2, and this could add to as much as 4. So these are from 1, 2, 3. But they always involve the 1. So this can't be 1, meaning that can't be 4. Interesting. We're getting there. 6 looking up, helpful? No. Is there something about, I don't think this has to be a 1, 2 pair. No, it can be 1, 1. It can't be 2, 2 though, actually. If this was 2, 2, it would add to 4, and this would have to be 1, 1. So there is a 1 involved, at least one of these two. It's either 1, 1 or it's 1, 2. And so no matter what, wherever that 1 ends up, these cells and these cells cannot be 1. Let me explain, right? If this is a 1, then notice how these can't be 1. And if this is a 1, notice how these can't be 1. Box and row, right? So this definitely can't be a 1, which means this can't be a 4, which does place 4 in the box. So let's just fill out this triple. This is 3, 4, 5, and this is 1, 2, 6. All right. And it also means this can't be 1, these can't be 1. So if this isn't a 1, oh, okay. So I just noticed this can't be a 1, 2 pair, right? Because we have a 1, 2 right there. So that's an easier deduction. So if this can't be a 1, 2 pair, it adds to at least 4 already without this on its own. So this has to be a 6. That makes this a 4, making this a 1, 3 pair, which can only go this way. We have this 3, and this is a 2. That's 1 and 2. So we remember that one of these had to be 1, so that's our 1. All right, perfect. That places 1 on this guy as well. In fact, it's a 2, yeah. So this is 3, that works. This is 3 and 2 adding to 5. This is 1 and 4 adding to 5. We get the 4. We get the 6, 2, and 1. Just cleaning up here. All right. Cool. So this needs to add to 4. So it has to be a 1, 3 pair. We know the order. That's 3 and, oops, wrong mode. That's 3 and that's 1. We get the 4 here. This row finishes with 6. This box finishes with 3. We get the 5 and 3, the 4. This is 5 or 6. This needs to add to 15. So, this added to 6. So this needs to add to 9. So it's 4, 5. That's a 6. I was going to follow up on that, but then we got a bunch of Sudoku, so I didn't come back to it. That's 5. That's 6. That's 2. And we're done. Very nice debut, PjoeterBliep. Thank you for joining the team. I'm looking forward to solving more of your puzzles. Um, Everyone give a warm welcome in the comments. And of course, if you enjoyed this, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.